Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Alpha Amplified podcast. This is the third episode of Career Month, and today we're going to talk about marketing. And I'm here with two special guests today, Arlene and Julio.
Hi, my name is Arlene. I'm the vice president of the Rutgers Newark chapter.
Hi, I'm Julio. I'm part of the marketing committee.
So, I want to talk about marketing and how it is for you guys, how, you got started with marketing and what made you choose marketing.
Yeah, so I guess what made me choose marketing. So when I entered Rutgers, it was like during pandemic, and I was like, I just need a major. I don't even want to go to college, let alone like pick a major right now. And I knew if like once I was in the business school, I could pick whatever I wanted. So like I was a leadership and management major first, and then what kind of like led me towards marketing was actually like my work study that I got like assigned through my role. It was like just making flyers, and it was just so fun because we would have meetings on like what her theme was, and what it was like it was in the business school. It was a very small organization called the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development. And my whole task, like the whole year, was like while I was at home online, like not talking to anybody, was just like making flyers and like putting these things out here. And it was like really fun because it was the first time that I guess I had like something to do, one, but two, like having meetings, be able to like take like words on a piece of paper and like putting them into something like actual physically. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, what is this, what I'm doing? And my manager, she was like, oh, it's marketing. Like, are you majoring in that? Like, are you interested in that? And that's kind of what led me down this path.
Nice. Well, my story is completely different. Growing up, I always wanted to be an astronomy major, funny enough. And then one time, the Rutgers Business School came to my high school, and they talked about the business majors, and then marketing was the one that stood out. And now I'm just a marketing major, so.
And just to talk more about like what marketing is.
I guess marketing, I feel like everyone thinks marketing is like just social media and digital marketing and like making pretty things and like PowerPoint. But like, honestly, I couldn't even explain what marketing is because there's so many different kinds of marketing. And like, I didn't even know that until like I took marketing classes in the business school, like marketing strategy and marketing research and retail marketing and like social media marketing and digital marketing. And it's like so many different things in one thing. So I feel like that's kind of why I like it too, because like, yeah, I could be a marketing major right now, but like down the line, I could be a marketing research assistant, and I can go down that path. And, there's always different avenues you can take. So I guess marketing is a lot of things, but it's really cool.
What do you think?
Just in basic terms, it's just selling an item or product or service to a customer or consumer, and pretty much that.
And I most likely this involves like psychology in a sense of like selling and like making sure like the color's right and like the wording is right. What is that? Tell me more about that. Like just creating something and making sure that it's appealing to that, that audience and that specific target audience.
Well, I guess that will go into like neuromarketing. I guess the more
I didn't know that
psychology,
existed. Neuromarketing?
psychology part of marketing,
Huh.
I like to call it, but it's more on the individual and like how little things could just impact someone's perspective on like a certain item or service. So
I've
things like
heard that like specific percentages where it's like, oh, it's 75% off, or like telling someone 50% off, or like, oh, it's
49% off is like completely
Or like
different.
a
no,
$1.99.
where it's like, oh, it's like $50, or like it's like $50 off, or like 50% off, or like I don't know what it is,
yeah.
or like it's like full price.
How you word things.
How
like,
you word things is like so important.
Like when you pay like $3.99 and then or $4, you think you save yourself a cent saying $3.99.
And you don't.
I mean,
Taxes, I guess not.
Then what's your point?
No, but like the point is, people would think $3.99 is cheaper because it's a cent cheaper, and they just pay that instead of $4.
Interesting. And I kind of want to talk about more of how Alpha has impacted you and impacted your journey within like your marketing major and like maybe future careers.
I mean, I feel like you were in Alpha a lot sooner, so I would love to hear your story first.
Well, I joined Alpha this past junior year in the fall of 2023, and it's been fun. And with this opportunity of being in the marketing committee is like the first way to do marketing and all that. And that's I had to give thanks for Alpha just to give me this opportunity to be part of the marketing committee and get this experience that I wouldn't have gotten any other way. So, yeah.
So sweet.
And and like talking more about like that, is there something like you said you wanted to be an astronomy major? or an astronomist, basically.
Astronomer. But yeah.
Astronomer. Wow, I don't know
almost-
my stuff. And what made you choose marketing? I don't know if you answered that already, but what was that pivotal moment where you're like, yeah, the marketing is my thing?
Well, going back, like backstory with astronomy, I
Mhm.
always liked space, and to this day I still do. But I've noticed that the field is kind of small. All you could do is work for NASA or any private space company, and
Mhm.
you need a PhD in a lot of things. And I was like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So then I had a weird limbo between astrophysics and also aerospace engineering, and then
What?
because I wanted to still do things with space, but then I was like
Mhm.
too much math. So that's when Rutgers, New Brunswick Business School came to my high school, and they were just introducing all the majors. And I guess the way they talked about marketing, how like you just sell to a consumer, and the sociology behind it, because you're selling to groups of people, was just the thing that gravitated me most of it. Well, finance, accounting, and business management were there, and it was cool. And obviously they make the more money, but it really didn't speak to me while marketing did.
Okay. And how did Alpha impact you, Arlene?
Alpha has impacted me a lot. I feel like I always say this spiel to like new people who join Alpha. They're
Yeah.
like, "What's the benefit?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can take like 20 minutes to explain how much Alpha has benefited me." But I guess I'll give like the medium long story of like when I joined Alpha, I had just come back from like COVID. So like honestly, I joined Alpha not because of like any of the benefits, because I had no idea what Alpha was gonna give me, but like honestly just for friends. Like I was like, I'm a sophomore. I feel like I should have a college friend already. It was like the second week of school, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to this like club showcase, and then I went, and that honestly pivotal moment in my life. If I hadn't gone to club showcase, I don't even know where I would be right now. But since joining Alpha, I guess like they like just like you, I joined the marketing committee, and I was like, okay, I like making flyers. I could definitely make flyers for like events. Like that sounds cool. And like, yeah, I'm working for free, but they always sold like put it on your resume. And I'm like, okay, I need something on my resume. So this is a smart way to do it. So then I did it, and then I was really close with like the current VP, the previous VP of marketing, so Iris. And she was really nice, and she like took me under her wing, and she was like, I really like how you make flyers. Like if you're like interested in doing the e-board, like let me know. And I was like, oh. And then like I feel like from that point on, like someone saw something in me, and I was like, someone sees who I am. I was like, who even
Yeah.
am I? So I was like, okay, like maybe I am like getting the hang of like flyer making and stuff like that. And like if she hadn't told me about like e-board, I would have never done it, to be honest with you. And so like Alpha put that like confidence in me that like no other like organization could do. It's so like strange because I always say it like once you like leave Alpha Convention or you leave like an event, like you leave with like a certain amount of confidence that like no
That
like
is
resume
true.
like tip can
That
do,
is
you know.
true. Yeah.
So after that, my career kind of went off like as soon as I joined the e-board at Alpha, because like you're more committed to it, like you're putting a lot more work, you have something to talk about because you're like going and making like huge flyers, you're in charge of people, you're attending meetings, and you talk about it in your interviews, and then all of it kind of like snowballed really fast for me. But yeah, I feel like when I say like join Alpha, like yeah, you get the connections, yeah, you get friends, but like I feel like that confidence that you get like when you come out of like an Alpha meeting or someone like talking about like how Alpha has impacted them, it's like wow, if they could do it, like I can do it, kind of thing. It's like so motivating. Like they always say like surround yourself by people like yourself, and like if they're doing really well, then you're gonna want to do really well, and it's like that crazy like. What do they say? It's like you're the company that you keep or something like that.
Yeah. Or
So-
like you're the person you revolve yourself around.
Yeah,
like,
something like
with,
that.
Or the people you resolve around with. Yeah. I kind of want to get into like the tea, right? What is
Okay.
that stereotype with marketing? What is that stigma? Tell me about it. Rant about it.
I guess people will say that marketing is the least paying of all the like the
Okay.
5 majors, business majors. But it's really not. It's really rewarding, and I think, for example, I like to say I'm part of the business school and like, marketing major. Just not for the business side, more for the people side, and for me that's more
Okay.
rewarding than money, just because I think human connection or human interaction and human psychology is the thing that intrigues me the most. But obviously people are different, but for me that's the most rewarding. Well, people could have the stereotype that we won't make that much money unless we get high positions and stuff, but then yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like crazy though, because like yeah, we don't make a lot of money. But like someone told me recently, like I don't know, like I always write down quotes people say that are like super cool because I'm like I'm gonna say that one day and I'm gonna look super cool too. So this is my moment. It's like go. It's like what? Oh my god, the quote. It's disappearing. But the essence of the quote was like, go wherever your passion is and money will follow. You know what it is? I got it on. I seem cool. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. But yeah, I feel like that is such a crazy quote because like I feel like a lot of people are driven like into like the business school and into like finance and IB and all those things, and it's like oh, because I'm gonna make so much money. I'm gonna make so much money. Like, are you like yeah, you could talk about stocks and DCFs all day, but like, do you actually like what you're doing? Like, do you actually like what you're doing? Like, be honest with me. Like, you don't have to lie. Like, we're cool like that, you know. But like, I think that quote of like go wherever your passion is and money will follow because a lot of people don't care about the money, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, like my family didn't grow up with money. I feel like I'm pretty happy. My family is really happy, you know what I mean? Like not everything is about money. And like I feel like my parents, I said this during an interview one time. She like told me, she was like, why do you do it? Like why do you do all the things that you do? And I was like, I do it because my parents came to this country and sacrificed so much for me to choose what I want to do and have a passion for and actually like my job. Because yeah, my mom cleaned toilets, but like did she like it? No, she did that so I can choose what I want to do, you know? And yeah, I could choose to go into a lot of money, but like, will I be happy? Will she be happy for me? You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a crazy stigma of like, yeah, we're the least paying. Like, one, money doesn't matter. Two, that's not necessarily true, you know? Like, there are majors out there, like, that don't make any money, you know? Like, people go into art, like,
Yeah,
you're
art
expected to
history,
art history, all these
psychology,
things.
Social work.
social
All of these
work.
things go into like $0 and people still go out and major in them. So I just don't understand the business school. I feel like I get it because like we're in the business school and like the stigma, like people are like, I'm going into the big four IB and it's like, and I'm going into whatever a small business is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, I think that stigma is so annoying. And like the older you get, I feel like the more you realize like, yeah, I don't want to spend time doing things I don't love because I don't. You don't know when your last day is, so I feel like I want to do as much as I can, enjoy my days.
I
So
like that. Can you talk about? I don't know if Julio, if you have experience, definitely talk about it. More of like the internship side and really the struggles. Because you've talked about marketing and not having that many roles. What are those struggles of finding that full time or internship?
yeah, I mean, you can say it now. I feel like it's like right now you're in a weird like economic like economy is kind of.
Well, yeah, I applied to probably, I remember I took a day and applied to like probably 15 internships in one day just because I was on FaceTime with a group of friends and we were just like, let's just apply. And we're just like, all right. And yeah, I've heard back from like 3 out of like the 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then presently one got back immediately. And I was like,
Oh, really?
so they were kind of, I wouldn't say desperate, but they were in need of like assistance, but it was mostly based around TikToks, and TikTok is not really my type of formula, so I felt I just
Okay.
didn't want to accept it. But the others are still waiting. But yeah, it's not really discouraging because I think once an opportunity comes, and if it's meant for you, then it'll just be for you, and that's
I like
that's the
that.
thing that keeps me going and
Mm-hmm.
applying and seeing what do I really want to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like it's so like interesting because like yeah, I'm a senior. I feel like that was such a long time ago where I was like looking for internships. So like I guess like when I was an intern, or like when I was recruiting for internships, I was like a sophomore. So I feel like I really felt really behind because freshman year I should have thought about like, oh, I should add things to my resume. I should like sophomore
Right.
like freshman
Yeah.
year was like kind of like that, like
Same.
stepping
Literally
stone.
same.
Like stepping stone. Like everyone's like start freshman year and I was like, I was literally at home sleeping, like all the freshman year, you know what I
Me.
mean?
School, work, home.
No,
That
yeah,
was
like,
literally what it was.
freshman year was like online for me. So like I didn't have
Oh.
friends, I didn't have alpha. I was just at home and I was just like, like I would
Mhm.
chime into my Zoom meeting. Present. That's like all I would do.
Yeah.
And then I feel like when I got into like the business school and like people were like, "Oh, do you have an internship yet?" And I'm like, "What's an internship?" I was like, "What is that?"
Same. Literal same.
So like when I started applying, I wasn't. I had a really bad. Like I look back at my resume and I'm like, wow. Like I started from deep, and like it was really I guess easier than it is now because I don't see as many opportunities. Also, I'm not looking as much, but like I feel like I saw a lot more opportunities when I was a sophomore,
Yeah.
and like I just applied to anything I could see. Like I would get a LinkedIn notification, apply. Like I would just like apply, and I also joined Braven at the time, so they made us do like a tracker. I look back at it sometimes, and I applied to like almost 100 internships
Wow.
my sophomore year, and like I would track like applied, got back, emailed recruiter, like it was like a crazy like tracker. And I'm so glad I did because it like I guess the same thing like it snowballed. Like once I got my first one, I was like, oh, I got this, you know.
Mhm.
But I didn't even like get the internship I got my sophomore year like applying online. Like I went to a career fair, like a physical career fair. I was
Oh,
so
okay.
nervous. I wore like the worst shirt ever, and then
Me.
I went up to the table and I was like, hey. I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but like, hey. And then I gave her my little spiel of like, oh, my name is Arlene. I go to Rutgers Newark. And she stopped me immediately. And she was like, I went to Rutgers Newark. Let me get your info. Like, and then it was boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And like, I was like, wow, I applied to 100 things and it didn't even matter. Like, I didn't even get back from any of them.
Hmm.
So it was really rough, like applying to things and feeling really discouraged of like, I applied to 100 things and I didn't hear back from any of them. But like Julia said, I feel like you have such a innate like knowledge of the world and being like, if it's for me, you know? I was like, I need one. I need one.
I need an
So,
internship. I need a full time. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. And is there any advice that you would give the viewers, the students who are currently in a marketing major or thinking of it? What's one piece of advice for them?
Well, there's one piece of advice. Don't slack off your freshman year in college. As example, I used to go to the game room, play pool a lot, but I don't regret it because it was fun and all. But
Mhm.
don't slack off. And if you really like marketing and you really like you're a creative person, you have this creative drive and passion, you should just go for it. And no one should tell you this won't make you money and like you won't live off of it. Be like, no, it will, and I'll catch sleep while other majors don't really get sleep. So it's like
That's funny.
you'll be more happy that way.
Mhm.
I would say my advice is yes, don't slack off, like Julia said, but also have fun. I feel like you'd find a lot of things that you're passionate about when you're in college. Like you
Mhm.
see things and do things that you've never really done before. So like don't slack off, but like also like explore other things that you've never explored before. Like maybe like I explored like different parts of marketing that I had no idea existed. And like I found like my niche that I really like, you know, and then like if I explained it to you guys, you wouldn't even know what it was. But like I get it, so like it's fine. But so yeah, I feel like don't slack off, be on top of your stuff, but like be also like open to like different things that you weren't really thinking about. Like you can add marketing to like supply chain or MIS and like marketing is such like a versatile thing. Like I said earlier, like marketing could do anything with, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of CEOs or CFOs that are marketing majors at some point, you know? So like don't be afraid to like explore things out there.
And also join Alpha, guys. Very, very important piece. Thank you guys for joining to this episode and the marketing episode. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having
Plug.
us.
Shameless plug. Follow me on LinkedIn. Julio Terran.
Shameless plug. Follow me, Arlene Flores, ARLYN Flores.
Love that. Tune into the consulting, investment banking, and supply chain episodes in our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and if you're interested in being on the podcast, fill out the interest form. Bye, guys. And thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Until next time, guys. Bye.
No shameless plug.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode. I've heard that, like, specific percentages where it's like, oh, it's 75% off. Or, like, you're just, like, it's more of, like,